So you know you're a Jersey guy, and
Yeah.
then you moved out here. What brought you to LA? Because I'm from the East Coast. Just Jersey and being from the East Coast, being from Connecticut, and being in LA is two different dynamics. So like,
Yeah.
what brought you out here?
Total different world. My cousin was working in the hotel in the street. You guys, I think we've been before, the Peninsula.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And he was the GM there, so he was doing really well. And I was always seeing the hands that he was shaking. I mean, you guys see, like when you go into that hotel, you never know who you're gonna run into.
Everyone's there.
Yeah, I'm seeing all the connections that he's making, and hospitality was an industry where, like, from a personality standpoint, you either just have it or you don't at hotels. Like, you're either just good. It has nothing really to do with academics at all, or what grade wise and whatnot. Like, that was always a thing. Well, I could always talk to people, so I always wanted to be in hotels and kind of follow what he was doing. So when I came out here, he was going to set me up in hotels, and he ended up getting me in at the Four Seasons, and then from there, for me, I always knew whether I stayed in hotels or whatnot, my whole plan was that I was going to meet somebody through hotels that would take me into an entertainment avenue or whatever it may be, above, whatever it was that I wanted to do in hospitality.
Yeah, you already had that plan. Like,
Yeah, you already
I'm gonna
knew.
do this. So you're working in hotels, right? You weren't doing the content creation full time. You were doing the hotel and the content creation, right? Who did you meet that was like, wow, I'm really meeting this person. Like, this is awesome.
It's a good question. So before I even came into LA, I was working in Miami at a hotel in Miami, and I was a doorman there. And my thing was, I wanted to get from a doorman into the front desk.
Yeah.
So, and then work my way up into the hotel. And it was a hotel that had anybody and everybody, presidents, celebrities, athletes. A guy that I met, and he's had a rough year to say the least, but a guy that I was always fascinated with because he had such a presence was Will Smith. And he stayed with us at the hotel, and I think he was filming Bad Boys 2, I want to say. But the way he talked to people, he had such a presence. He was such a nice guy, and the simplest things that he would do or say would totally make somebody's day. And he cared about you, really did. So I was always inspired by him, of just how much of just like a regular guy he was, even though he was living this completely, non-regular life. So he was somebody that really that was really cool for me to meet. But then when you meet him and he's that good of a dude, it was unbelievable.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
So on the opposite side of that, who's someone that you met where you were like, I'm completely unimpressed?
There's days where, like, you always try and give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you have a bad interaction with somebody, like, mind you, they're at the hotel, they might be having a bad day. Like, you don't know what's going, into them. I had a interaction with Cam Newton. That was not to call the guy out. And again, mind you, he might have just been having a bad day.
You never know.
You never know. So, like, that was one interaction. But a lot of times with the hotel that I've realized, like, you have a lot of the valet guys that have been there for years and years and years. And if and this isn't even for Cam Newton, but like for anybody, like if they say that somebody's not a very nice person, they're usually right because they've had more than one interaction. And then on the other end of that, they say that somebody's so great, they know because they see them all the time.
Right.
Cam thing, I give him the benefit of the doubt. I'd say he was having a bad day.
We'll give Cam the benefit of the doubt.